What is up, Bulldogs? Today I am going to be talking about why I bought a BMW Series 5, a 530i, or E, iPerformance to be exact here. So stay tuned. What's up, guys? If you're just joining me for the first time, my name is John Sanmez from BulldogMindset.com, and today I am going to be talking about why I bought an expensive BMW. It cost me about $64,000. I'm actually leasing it. I was going to buy it, but then I said, I might as well do the lease, and I might buy it at the end. We'll see. Otherwise, I'll get a new BMW. And the leases cost me about $700 a month, maybe $100 a month insurance on that. So why am I doing this? Does this even make sense? Am I just being extravagant? John, you are so financially frugal, and you give us all this advice on being wise with your finances. And here you're buying a brand new car. Actually, you're leasing a brand new car and throwing away $700 a month. Why would you do that, John? By the way, follow me, Bulldog Mindset, on Instagram, and you can check out the pictures of the car. Usually the YouTube videos are a little bit like 2 weeks or so behind, maybe more than that. So if you want to see what I'm doing right away, you can check out my stories on Instagram, and it's like, this is the workout I did today, right then and there. So I have had a 2005 Toyota Corolla for the last 13 years. Okay, that has been my only car. All right, that's it. All right, I drove this thing. I don't drive all that much, but I've been frugal. It's been paid off for years and years. Okay, and I just drove this thing around. Okay, because it doesn't really matter that much. All right, and I haven't felt the need to spend a bunch of money, even like $15,000 or $20,000 on the car. But now I just spent the equivalent of $60-something thousand on the car, $700 a month. So why make that change? Most of the time when I'm driving a car, okay, I am driving for business purposes. Okay, I am driving to go and meet with someone, to go and shoot video. I'm driving to go to a meetup or some kind of event or seminar, or whatever it is. Almost all the time when I'm driving, it is a business use for that. Okay, so what I can do because of that is I can basically write off almost the entire lease. I'm going to say like it's 90% business use, okay, which is accurate. It's probably closer to 100% business use. I'll consult with my CPA on that, but I can write off that lease payment, and so it is, for me, for someone who makes over $400,000 or $500,000 a year, well over that, it is like a 50% discount because I live in California. So I am basically able to have this luxury vehicle and use this for my business use at a 50% discount rate. So instead of paying $700 a month for the lease, I can really look at this as paying maybe $400 or $350 a month. Let's say $400 or $500 a month, which again, it might seem like a lot to you, but it's really not that much when you consider the amount of income that I take in, especially the business income that I take in. Another aspect of this, okay, that is kind of interesting, which I think you guys will find pretty interesting, is when I posted the pictures of my BMW on Instagram, okay, I got many, many more congratulations for the BMW than I did for running a sub 4-hour marathon that I trained for many weeks for, okay? So I think that's kind of funny. But it goes to show you human nature, and it shows you the value of having a status symbol like a nice car, okay? A nice car like that is, unfortunately, this is the world we live in, it's going to attract me a lot more clients and prospects and business opportunities and deals when people know that you have a nice car, because it says that you are successful in life. It's the same thing as wearing an expensive suit. When I wear an expensive suit, people treat me differently, okay, and I do better, okay, in life. Just having a style and design. Since I have revamped my style here on YouTube and I stopped wearing backwards hats and tank tops all the time, I have also been approached with many more opportunities, and people have taken me much more seriously, so that's a good thing. So there's that aspect of it. Honestly, what it really comes down to ultimately, like, because you can say some of these things are justifications, and if you do, I'm not going to argue with you. It's fine. It's great, because I'll just give you the blunt, honest truth. Is I wanted to have a nice car. I'm like, fuck. I've been having this old car for 13 years. I guess it wasn't old when I first got it, but not a great car. But with the income that I make, and again, I'm not saying this to brag, I'm just saying this because I'm being totally honest and transparent with you guys, like I do on this channel, is, I'm making well over $500,000 a year, like closer to like more like 700-800, closer to $1 million a year, depending on how things go. To have a $60,000 car or $65,000 car, fully loaded BMW, not really that expensive for me. I mean, I can buy the thing cash. I got cash sitting around. I could go into the BMW dealership and buy it. In fact, that was my plan. And then when I looked at the leasing deal, I was like, okay, this lease actually looks better than buying it. It gives me the option of getting another car in 3 years or picking up the car at the residual value. And there's a bunch of factors into that. It felt kind of expensive. Like I've never bought a car of this value, but again, it is such a small, trivial thing. Like for me, a $600 or $700 a month payment or $800 a month payment, even $1,000 a month payment is not a big deal at all. I know for a lot of you it is a big deal, and it was for a long time for me, right? Again, if I tell you my story and my history, I was not born with a golden spoon, a silver spoon in my mouth, okay? I grew up, my dad was Air Force, was military growing up, okay? He did a great job of providing for us and raising us kids and making sure that we had what we needed, but we had what we needed and we didn't have a lot more than that, okay? We weren't poor, but we didn't have a lot more than what we needed. Okay, so I didn't have any advantages in life. I basically had to forge my own way. I figured out how to invest in real estate. I figured out how to build a business. I figured out how to teach myself programming and become a software developer, okay? And to write books and sell those books and to make courses and sell those courses and all of that stuff and build up passive income and retire young. So I've worked to build that, but a lot of what I had to do when I was younger was things like sleep on mattresses on the floor, was be extremely, extremely frugal, okay? And to basically not spend money, right? To save a huge amount of money, to live way below my means. And really, honestly, even today, even with this BMW, I live way below my means. I know plenty of my friends that are making a lot less money than me that own expensive Teslas. Again, I'm not knocking them in any way, but I know a lot of people that are making a lot less money than me that have much nicer, bigger houses. I have $1 million house. I know people that have $3 or $4 million houses. I could easily afford one of those, but I'm not. Okay, I'm living below my means, and I've always lived below my means because it's super, super comfortable to live below your means, because that means that you are always wealthy because you have more than you need. When I make my needs low, I get to be wealthy and enjoy being wealthy, not just rich. Okay, that's a big difference here. So anyway, it was a tough choice. Again, I have to say that I didn't just like say, oh, I'm just going to splurge and buy a BMW. I had to think about this for quite a bit and finally decide, all right, you know what, John, you're kind of being silly not doing this. And I'll tell you one last concept here as I'm talking about this. Again, you can watch my videos on wealth and investing and real estate investment and stuff to hear more about this. But there's a concept here called the utility value of money, okay? And this is something that I've talked about quite a bit. But in my coaching clients, I talk about this to them all the time because this is something that's really important to understand. When you're making less money, it's really important that you save and that you're as frugal as possible, right? I did this video a while back on the $5 rule. This kind of introduced you to that concept, okay? A little bit of an embarrassing video because it's kind of an older video, but watch it after you watch this one and whatever else I've recommended here. But basically it comes down to this, okay? Is that when you're making less money, saving, let's say you're making $40,000 a year, okay, in the US. Saving $5,000 is big, okay? You not going to Starbucks and saving a couple of $1,000, like $500 a year or $1,000 a year by not going to Starbucks is big. It's going to make a big impact on your life, right? Because the utility value of that $1,000 that you could save, invest in real estate, invest somewhere is going to be huge. Now, when you're making $200,000, should you go to Starbucks every day if you want to? Fuck yeah. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. If you save $2,000 more this year, not a big deal. Not a big deal. Okay? Now, if you save $10,000 more, that is a big deal, or $20,000 more, it's a big deal. But that utility value of money has decreased. So at that point in your life, you should probably actually be upping your living style a little bit. You should still be living far below your means. Okay? And maybe you're not financially free at that point. Again, the utility value of money is higher. Now, let's project it out further. Let's say you're making $500,000 a year, and it's mostly passive income that you don't even have to work for anyway. okay? And your living expenses are really, really low. Now, the like questions like, should you spend $100 are irrelevant questions, right? I used to have that $5 rule, like I said in that video. It became a $20 rule, whereas like if anything is $20 or less, I don't give a fuck. I just buy it. I don't even run into calculate. I don't clip a coupon. I don't care. Now it's more like $100. I really don't care about expenses that are under $100. Doesn't matter, right? Doesn't matter. I can make that choice. I can make that choice 10 days out of every month, and the penalty for me is $1,000 a month, $12,000 a year. When I'm making over $500,000 a year, making $12,000 a year more or less, or spending it or saving it or investing it, doesn't matter. It's not going to change my life quality at all. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that's where this kind of falls into play. Again, buying a BMW that's $60-something thousand is more than that amount, but if you look at it, $700 a month, and with the tax write-off and everything, it doesn't really matter. It's not going to make much of a difference. So anyway, I'm not saying, again, any of this to brag, okay? But I am saying this so that you understand why I did this, and more importantly, how your life needs to scale based on the utility value of money. There's a lot of people that get this wrong, and they spend a lot of money when they shouldn't, when they're early on in their career, when they're working for someone else. And when they're later in their career, there's the opposite problem of people that have passive income, that are making a lot of money, and they're still being frugal as fuck. They're clipping coupons. They're worrying about $5 and shit, and they're wasting time. Time is a much more valuable asset than I will throw money at problems now, because I have the money to throw at problems in order to buy time. Back then, I would sacrifice my time in order to make money, because that money, it was important. And here's kind of the formula for life. I'll tell you this right here, a little shortcut here. Earlier on in life, what you need to do is you need to trade time for money. Then you need to invest that money so later on you can buy time with it. That is the key to success in life, I'm telling you. All right, guys, that's all I got for you today. If you have any more questions about this, about the BMW, about what I'm doing, about my finances, I am pretty open about most of this stuff, and I share it with you because I'm transparent, not because I'm trying to brag. Okay. Also, I have to tell you, if you want to achieve some of the success that I have in life and want to hear about how I do this, click the subscribe button, obviously, so you can follow along. One of the things that I attribute to my success in life and the things that I've been able to accomplish, and don't get me wrong, there's people a lot more successful than me, a lot more smarter than me, have a lot more credentials than me. Okay, I've done a lot of greater things than me, but I've been able to achieve what I've wanted out of life and to be able to become financially free and do a lot more than probably 99% of people on this planet, okay? So one of the things that's been critical to me is developing what I call the Bulldog mindset. That's why I have this channel. That's why I've created this brand. So take this quiz here, and let's see how you rank on this. This is kind of going to help you to determine whether you've got that Bulldog mindset or if you've got some things that you need to work on. And if you do, that's great. We're all together in this. I am still working on developing my Bulldog mindset and making it greater. Just join us on this channel. Click the subscribe button. Become a fucking Bulldog, and let's change your life. All right, guys, that's all I got for you today. Take care, and I will talk to you next time.